Right, okay, we're starting. How we doing? I'm here in the podcast studio with Nathan.
Yep.
How we doing, man? So we've decided we're going to start doing basically a sales podcast. There's not like a proper sales podcast in the UK that I know of, really. And we're doing sales training every single day. So we thought it'd be a good idea. Let's just sit down, go through a bit about your story, I guess, and then also just some sales training as well, some techniques, the basics, the fundamentals, what's worked well with us, and what could work well with yourself as well. So tell us, Nathan, then, so like what is it what do you do? Like how would you describe what you do on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, so over the past 3 years, I've generated over £7 million in revenue for high-ticket sales offers, generating 5 figures consistently every single month for myself, and now I mentor other clients to do the same.
Mm-hmm. And well above 6 figures every single year.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And done that from starting out as, I guess we can go back a wee bit into your story in a second about where you came from and how you got to this position where you've got the nice car, got the nice watch, got the nice life, you're making good money. And I think further from that as well, you actually wake up and you look forward to life.
Yeah, I fucking enjoy life. And I love life.
Which I think a lot of people sadly don't. And a lot of people don't enjoy sales as well, which I think is mental. And in fairness, there was a time where I never, fully enjoyed it myself. But, through getting better, you enjoy what you're good at.
Of course.
When you get good at sales, there's no job like it. When you become exceptional at sales, it's like every sale is like scoring a goal at football or, try at rugby. It's like you get the adrenaline, you get the deal in, you're making money. Like, what is not to love?
Feels incredible, man.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you're doing consistent deals so that feeling is consistent, right?
Exactly. A quick bit about myself. I'm Cal. I'm a co-founder of Let Property. We train, hundreds of sales guys every single year to sell property investments. Worked with Nathan for a long time, 3 years. Nathan's been by far the top sales closer in the business, time and time again, earning, over 6 figures every single year and, bringing in, hundreds of thousands every single month of new business in sales and making, a healthy cut off the back of that. So, if there's someone to listen to in sales, it's this guy, hence why we wanted to jump on and, do this podcast. So, I guess going into your story.
Yeah. Do you remember what I was like? Do you remember when I came for that first interview?
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah. So let's rewind then. 3.5, 4 years, I was in an engineering role. Mm-hmm. I was fitting stair lifts, going into people's houses and fixing their stair lifts, the lifts that go up and down, the ones in elderly people's houses. So I was fixing these. I was getting paid between £1,500, £2,000 every month. And
1,500 to 2,000, like after tax.
1,500 to £2,000 per month, after tax. It was horrendous. But at the time, I was okay. I was comfortable. I was checking out early. I was finishing. I was doing my jobs quickly. Mm-hmm. I would leave work early. I would go home. I would go to sleep. I'd rest, whatever. I'd play PlayStation, all these shitty habits that you'd have. Then fast forward 3.5 to 4 years later, I'm now earning consistent 5 figures, living the life that I enjoy, coaching other people how to do the same. So it's a big, big shift, very big shift.
What was the difference? Because there's a lot of people that are like stuck in this 9 to 5 that they're not really enjoying. They're not getting fulfillment from. They've got like a lack of purpose. And it's like, what made you make the jump? Because obviously you came in, I remember that when you came in straight when you're first, we were unsure of even taking you on. We're like, this guy's got 0 sales experience.
That would have been a mistake.
It would have been a mistake. This guy's got 0 sales experience. He's, I think you were only earning, as you said,
next to nothing.
Yeah, next to minimum wage. Didn't seem that you had much of a drive, but I could tell you wanted more.
Yeah.
There was something where you were discontent. You're you had the number one thing I look for in sales guys is that burning desire of lack of fulfillment. I need more. I need more. I need more now.
Exactly.
You don't know what it is all the time, but you need to try and get somewhere faster.
Yeah, so with me, I always wanted more. Always did. I tried everything. I tried e-com, tried Amazon FBA, trading, everything you name it, right? I tried it all. The only thing I hadn't tried was sales. But it was probably my character at the time. I didn't stick in. it didn't go well for a few months, so I ditched it and I moved on to the next. And I also didn't have the financial backing to do any of these things properly the way that they should be done. Because at the end of the day, most business models need some sort of financial backing.
Absolutely.
And I didn't have it at the time. And then I came across an ad, thanks to Enrique, who's a bit behind the camera. I came across an ad that was, it was the lifestyle. It was what I wanted. And the way I saw it was, I could join this role, and even if I don't make a lot of money, it'll still be more than what I'm earning just now. At that time, I didn't think I was going to go in and earn consistent 5 figures, be the top for 3 years running. I didn't think that whatsoever. So I applied for the interview, and that was all.
You know what's funny actually as well? I forgot about this. I don't know if you remember this, Enrique. We actually, the leads wasn't connected from Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, the leads weren't connected from Facebook. So all these applicants came through, and then like they were basically going into nowhere. Like they were just not. It was just stuck. Like didn't go into the CRM. So nobody was calling these leads. And Nathan actually, I somehow managed to get my phone number and phoned me and was like, mate, like I've applied, nothing's came through.
You've got to be resourceful.
I looked up your name in the system and it wasn't there, and then I realised, oh wait, we've got like 2,000 applicants that we've not called. But
so
that was funny. I
phoned you 4 times. The first time it was like, hi. I was nervous. Hi, is that Calvin? You're like, yeah, who the fuck is this? I'm like, it's Nathan. I applied for the job, and obviously your response was, well, you'll hear back. So no hassle. And then a few days had gone. I was like, what's going on? And I had nothing to lose, mate. I was in a dead end job. I had nothing to lose at all. So gave you another call. I was like, have you got the job application? Like, what's the situation? Because one thing I'd learned was, if you placed a job application, always just check, like, if they didn't accept you, why? So you know what to change for the next time. So I did that. I phoned you again. No response. Phoned you, I think it was the 3rd time, but then when it got to the 4th time, you went, right,
just come in this afternoon.
It was like, right, let me just check. And you checked and you were like, right, okay, the system's not working. The leads have stopped flowing for some reason. They're not coming into the system. Can you make it in tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, but I don't have a suit. Just wear whatever, just get in.
Yeah.
And I went in.
That's funny.
And as I say, the rest was history. But it's been a quick journey, because I came in and within the 2nd month, I broke the revenue record.
That's right.
I broke the deal volume record. So been flying since then.
And that is something we want to touch on as well, is like in sales, how can you get to that point of being exceptional? What can you do to come in? And because like I was actually speaking to my mum about it the other night, and because my brother's just recently got a sales job, believe it or not, and she was like, oh well, I guess it just depends on who comes through. And my brother's selling car finance, and he's like, oh, who comes through and what car they have, and it's just the luck of the draw, really. And I was like, nah. I'm like, well, if that was the case, how come the same salespeople always end up top of the board month after month after month? And it's like, it's because they know how to sell. It's not luck. Like, and it shouldn't even be how you think about life. It's like, it's the skills.
I think the thing about it is, right, see when you learn how to take someone from uncertainty to clarity, then closing becomes consistent. It becomes consistent. It's not like I hope this person buys, or I hope this lead falls in and this deal falls on my lap. It becomes a consistent process. I have a process that I do day in, day out, and I know exactly the results I'm going to get there or thereabouts, and I will be top every single month and make the most revenue.
And it works. And exactly. It's like, I was speaking to Xander about this today, actually. Shout out Xander. He was talking about, so he was only on like 2 sales for the full month, and it looks like he's going to finish on 8 and end up, I think, 4th for like revenue, because he's working more higher ticket portfolio deals right now. And like what we were talking about is basically like, when you have that process, even if the results haven't came yet, don't change it. Just you know what works. Stick to the basics, stick to what works, stick to the process in sales, and the results will follow. Yeah. Sometimes they're a bit delayed. Sometimes it's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of like, what's going on? And that's what sales does to you. Like, sales is like the best self-development that you can have as an individual. It's like the number 1 self-development job that you can do in terms of building character, because it just tests you all the time. And that's it. So you've just got to stick to that framework as well. But yeah, so I mean, on that then, like with the I guess just getting straight into the actual sales part of it.
Yep.
Like, what do you think is the main fundamentals of sales?
Well, myself coming from a time of borrowing money from people every single month, the next paycheck would then be paying them back. Like, I've been in the gutter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know how it feels, and I realised that something had to switch. So before I learned any skills, it was a mindset switch. So I started to realise that no one's going to do this for me. No one's going to do this for me. I have to go out and do it myself. And probably the most important thing for me in my whole sales journey has been trusting myself. So I always trust myself to do the right job, to do it well. And regardless of what I do, I fully believe I'll do it well. And that's something that I never had before. I always
It's like a self-belief sort of thing.
Self-belief. Like, there's so much conviction in my self-belief. I know exactly where I'll get to, and it's a guarantee I'm going to get there. It's already done, okay? But the self-belief was something that I never had before.
Yeah.
I was almost pushing my self-belief, my belief onto other people. Like, if they don't believe in me, then I shouldn't believe in myself. I was looking for validation, external validation, whereas now the self-belief has literally changed my life. It's the cliche saying, if you believe, you can achieve. Like, it's fucking true, mate. And with myself getting into sales, I started to study. And when I say study, I mean study. I mean, you know me, like, there was no music. It was podcasts every morning on the way into the office, on the way home from the office.
There was only one time you played music, to be fair.
Was it? I can't even remember.
Right at the door.
Oh, right at the door. Yeah, I remember that. Kanye West, wait till I get my money right.
That's actually quite
my
a good
song.
tip, to be fair, for salespeople. Because like sales is like it's an energy. It is a mindset, but it's an energy. But every single morning, one thing that you done was you put on that Kanye West song
Don't tell me nothing.
right at the start, and you played it as you were going in, and like that, you just played it out. That got you into a zone of like, right now it's business. Like,
Something I was going to touch on, but I'll actually go into it now. So this is one thing that a lot of people get wrong in sales, right? Is they'll maybe, if they're in an office role, they'll wander in at 1 minute to 9. They're already, you're not on track, right?
Yeah.
Your day's already spoiled. So you walk in at 1 minute to 9, you're then wandering out to get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. You're just not on the ball, right? You need to be sharp as a tack. You need to be on the ball. The most important thing for me is actually my mental state before I do the job, right? Your footballers, they'll warm up before they play a football game.
that's right.
So myself, I'll get whatever it is that gets you into that right physiological state, mental state, the correct self-talk. It's very, very important. I hear a lot of salespeople go, "Oh, I'm shit. I'm not good. I've not closed in 3 weeks." So if you're saying you're not good and you're saying you're not shit and you can't close, how do you expect to then go in and close the next sale?
It's madness.
So I fully agree.
I think that's a massive thing that people
Yeah.
don't think about, is like, what's the words that you're actually saying to yourself? Like,
Yep.
listen back to everything that you say and like actually think, like, wait, is that right? Like people say, oh, I'm shit at that. Oh, I'm not. I can't do that. I hate the words I can.
It's a lot more harmful than you think.
Yeah, even the me saying that right now, it's like, just avoid that language altogether. Just, you should only be giving yourself positive affirmations in your brain, like every single night, every day, so morning when you're going in, like getting ready for success. So many people in sales, they are too busy thinking about or worrying about not coming bottom of the board. So just getting a couple of sales up. They're not thinking about, they're not even thinking that, and it's scarcity versus abundance mindset. They're not thinking about how am I going to do 12 sales? Am I going to do 15? Because they're not thinking up here. They're thinking so low level. They've got like a low level of vibration that it's like, that's what they end up getting. As opposed to thinking, I can do this, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a massive part of top performance versus low performance.
I think what you tell yourself, right, is so much more important than people realise. And I went through a stage of saying, right, you're not good at this, you're not good at that. And then I switched to almost, you could call it delusion, right? Because why in the world would an engineer earning £1,500 to £2,000 per month, why in the world would he go into this big business and become the top salesperson, earn more money than he could ever imagine, and be on track to earn so much more? Like, why is that even possible? Like, 9 out of 10 people would have just never even imagined that. But there was just something in me where I was like, I'm worth more, and I will make more. And I just made it happen. And
It's like,
a lot of it was
saying that
delusion,
thing
man.
to yourself. It's like, I know who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I'm going to do.
Well, do you remember the one time I had that sales slump?
Yeah,
I
that's
had,
right.
The one time I had a sales slump and I was having a little breakdown. I was like, what's going on? What's going on?
That was like the one time I'd seen Nathan literally mindset. It's like you'd managed to get into your own mind.
And it's so rare for me. I don't let that happen.
I find, like, see the way that you were, for that like month or 2 months. That was like the way that most salespeople are right at the start of their sales journey.
Yeah.
Like
But
the first month or 2 months, or maybe like even like honestly, like I'm thinking about a couple of sales guys we've had recently, but it's like they've done well, and then they had that mindset and they're like that, and they get stuck in it and they can't pull themselves out.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk me through how you got out that sales slump, because so many people get into a sales slump. They're struggling with the sales. They were doing amazing, then they've just dropped. But how do you actually get out of that?
Well, what provides confidence? What provides confidence is past results, right? So with myself, I knew who I was. It was actually you that said to me, do you know who you are? Like, do you know the results that you've got in this business? And it was a case of, yes, I do. And I went out and closed 4 deals that day. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's the positive self-talk, because even if you are in that slump, look back at the past experience, back at the past results that you've had, and you'll realise, right, okay, well, I'm definitely not in a sales slump. Maybe a few bad calls, but get your act together, get back into it. And I've been flying since. I've had one sales slump in like 3.5 years. There's not many people that can really say that, to be fair.
Yeah.
It has been constant ups, but the reason for it is because it's not just by chance. Sales is a process. And as I've said before, I'll say it again, when you can take someone from uncertainty to clarity, everything changes. Like, you'll never go broke again. You never will go broke again.
And that's the thing. I mean, like, for me, getting into sales, it was kind of like, didn't really know what to do in my life. I've not really even spoken about me getting into sales before, but I didn't really know what to do with my life. And I knew that I wanted to do something in business. I knew I wanted to do something that, I knew I wanted to make money. And it just made sense to go into sales, because if you learn how to sell, if you learn how to, that's like the closest thing you can do to business. You learn how to sell. I was like, if I learn how to sell, I can then take that and I can then use it elsewhere. I just knew how much of a skill it was to have, how valuable it was. Like, it is the number one, like, best, like, that's the number one fundamental skill you can have.
Agreed. And everything is a sale. Everything. Now, the one thing for me is realising that people that are watching this right now are already one step ahead of the curve. They're already, right now they could be watching Netflix. They could be out drinking, taking drugs. They could be doing anything, but instead you're watching us on a podcast right now. So that one switch from doing your going out every weekend, drinking, drugs, partying, watching Netflix all the time, going for naps. See, when you switch that and start watching educational content like this, everything changes. And that was the biggest shift that I made, was I would sit there watching TikTok all day.
Just
I would
scrolling.
watch Netflix till whatever time in the morning.
Is that what you get? I remember like getting in from the house and like, because you don't have a purpose, you don't have something to do. You literally just think, you actually end up having all this spare time, and you sit there and you lie about, and then you go on your phone and you make food, and then you lie in your bed, and before you know it, it's like, you're a constant state of procrastination. Before you know it, it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and you're like, oh, that's the night gone. And then it's like, so many people live like that. It's like, what are you actually doing with your life?
Yeah.
Like, there's more to this. We're just speaking about it in the car. There was actually an interesting point Enrique brought up. It's like, you get to the end of your life, you'll have God there in front of you, and he'll say to you, what did you do? And, you know, you'll sit there and I'll be like, oh, like, I didn't really do anything. And he'll be like, what? You didn't do it? He's like, I gave you endless opportunities. He's like, I gave you the world's your oyster. You could go out. I gave you the chance to achieve whatever you want in life, and you didn't even. Did you even try? Oh, I didn't try. I didn't do anything. It's like, what? It makes no sense. It's like there's all this opportunity, but it's like complaining about not winning the lottery, but never buying a ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what have you done? Like, do something. Like, with you know, with us, the reason why we've had success is because we
took a chance.
We done something. We were like, we done something different. We actually went and went, look, let's try and do something that has a bit of risk in it.
Yeah, 100%. And some of the best things are behind risk, right? Some of the best things, the best possibilities, things you could never even imagine, are behind taking that one risk. And that's something that we've both done. And one thing I really wanted to go into was, for the people watching, when it comes to sales, I want to know, for you, what are the most important things that you look for in a salesperson, especially if you're hiring, actually? What are the most important things that you will look for?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, like, number one thing, I think this is like sales, but this is also just business in general. I think you have to have a massive chip in your shoulder. I think you need to have a massive fuck you energy.
Yeah.
You need to have like a...
Actually, on that, do you remember when I phoned you and I said, fuck you, and you were in an interview?
Yeah, I was actually in an interview.
I think I hadn't done a sale for like 2 days at the time. Now, I'm like a deal a day kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
I remember I hadn't done a sale for 2 days, and he phoned me. He was like, "What's Nathan? What's going on? Are you okay? Like, what's the problem?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Just you wait." And I closed 5 deals in that one afternoon. And I phoned him, and you said you were in an interview, weren't you?
Yeah, that's
you had
right.
someone in, you were like, "That's my top sales guy phoning. Let me just," and I literally just said down the line, "Fuck you."
Yeah, literally, you're like,
and I hung
fuck
up.
you. And I was like, nah, respect.
You need to have that fuck you in you, man.
And I think so many people, like, it's something that you can't really instill in someone. It needs to be something that they had when they were younger, or past trauma, or something they've got where it's like it gives them that bite, that fire. Like, I don't kind of speak about myself, but also like I know like there was a guy speaking to recently, and he was saying that he was actually in like the special ed class in school.
I know who you're talking about as well.
He was in the special ed class in school, right? But everyone had laptops in the classroom because they were obviously dyslexic, but he didn't. And then he was like, well, at least they have an excuse. Right? But it's like, for the rest of his life, he's now going to have to prove to everyone that he's not stupid.
Yeah.
Because he's got a massive chip on his shoulder.
For salespeople, a lot of these people do feel, they may not have it, but they feel like they have a point to prove.
Oh, yeah.
A lot
absolutely.
of salespeople really
It's
feel
not
like they
even
have a point to
half
prove.
the time, it's not even about the money.
Yeah, it's not. And see with myself, it was a point to prove to myself, because I knew I was worth more, but it was like, well, are you? Because you've not done
like,
anymore. So let's prove the point, right?
You're not proving that. So yeah, I think one massive thing is chip and shoulder.
Yeah.
That kind of comes with that, I guess chip and shoulder, but also with that confidence in themselves, the certainty, discipline,
Unshakable conviction.
Yeah, just like I know what I want. This is what they know what they want, and it's like I'm gonna go and get it. I'm gonna go and make it happen.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much
The main
it.
things, right?
I would say, like, what do you think?
I mean, for me, I want to look at it differently because I've worked in the business that you run, right? I've worked in it, and the things that really changed, so not just working on your business, but also my own journey and also of coaching clients, the main thing that's been the most important for me is having conviction in my offer. So see, whatever I'm selling, having serious conviction in what I'm selling and believing in the offer. Because the thing is, right, if you're selling some AI product that you don't know how it works and you've got no interest in it at all, it's going to come across to these buyers, right? It's going to come across, and they're going to have no conviction in it either. So that's probably the most important thing for me is conviction in what I'm selling. So if you're hiring someone and they've got no interest, so you're working with property investments, right? So if you've got someone that's got no interest in property at all, they've got no interest in sales, they just want to make money. It's almost like, are you really gonna fit in? Are you gonna be a right culture fit? Is it gonna work? Because you need to have serious conviction in your offer. Now, another big thing for me is a switch that I had. Now, this isn't something that makes me hireable, but when I was actually in these sales calls, the things that really changed was that I used to start to try and sell myself, right? I would go in and I would sell myself, I would sell the business, and I'd think that I was fucking shit hot because I'd do some deals and yeah, I thought I was great.
Yeah.
Best thing since sliced bread. Then when things really changed, it was when I actually started selling the outcome. Instead of selling the flight, you sell the destination, right? You want to sell the dream life, the dream outcome.
Absolutely.
Like, where is this going to take you? Where do you want to get to? And this is what you're selling. Instead of the journey. People don't care about the drill. They care about the hole that it creates, right? That's what's important. Now, selling the dream outcome, basically for me, it was all about finding out where they are right now, where they want to go, what the gap is that's holding them from where they are right now and where they want to go to, but then providing us as the remedy. Like the analogy that I say, it's a doctor. They would diagnose the pain and they prescribe the medication.
That's right.
That's the main things for me.
100%. Yeah. No, it's so true. Like, yeah, I think it sounds so simple, but and like, we go through this in more detail. Like even with the sales protocol.
Yeah.
The book you've also got like some other bits and pieces that goes into more detail of understanding these fundamentals of sales, because a lot of even the sales stuff that we have, it goes back to like Yellow Pages. The Yellow Pages was like one of like the that's like most salespeople come
Just
from.
dial,
I didn't even
dial,
realise
dial.
like Aaron Willis from the Manchester office, head of sales. He was part of the Yellow Pages as well. But so many good salespeople came from that
Yeah.
era. But like they studied sales, they studied psychology, they put that into a formula of like, and we'll probably go through it in another video, but like how an actual sales pitch should go, like your introduction, signpost,
Yes.
qualification being key.
Yeah.
You don't want to like another massive thing that people do in sales is like they'll do the intro, they'll do the signpost, and then they do a really weak qualification, and then they spend an hour
With someone they can't even buy.
idiot. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because I say to the guys, I'm like, how many hours do you have? Like, how many hours do you do a day realistically in sales? Like 3-4 hours, right? And it's like you've spent 40 minutes with him, and you didn't even. And then you get to the end of the call and they go, "Yeah, I've not got enough money to even buy this."
Well, look at when I started the closer protocol. I had plenty of leads coming in.
Yeah.
And I was jumping on these calls. I didn't have a set or anything at the time. I didn't have a team. I was jumping on these calls and they had no money.
Yeah.
I'd spend half an hour on a call with someone, which that slot could have gone to someone else, but I went with that specific person and they had no money. I'm literally sitting there for half an hour, pitching the shit out of someone, trying to get a deal done, trying to show them that I really can change their life. And they were so bought in, but I had no money. That's not qualified leads. Qualification is key. Like, it's such an important thing that's overlooked by a lot of salespeople, by the way.
I think even with that, like thinking about going back to sales and like why we're probably so invested in sales is like one of the things, the reason, because I asked yourself, I was like, mate, you already make so much money. Why are you even bothered about helping train more people, like salespeople?
I mean, for me, it's probably different to a lot of people that get into the mentorship space. For me, I've gained so much from sales. I feel like I've been given from people like yourself, from people like Gary, who you know as well, quite a few people that I've had that I've seen as mentors in the space that have really helped me further my skills and quite frankly change my life. I just want to give back to other people, to show young people, because I've been in this situation where you're dead broke, you're in a dead job.
You're worrying, you're going to you're paying for your, just trying to switch money around your cars to pay for a meal deal. It's like,
so it doesn't decline. But I've been there. So for me, the whole mentorship side of things was to just get a community of people, like, especially in Scotland, there isn't really many, right? There's not like a big community of people that are just looking to drive.
There's so many businesses that need salespeople as well. We literally had one of the guys in the office today that has a marketing agency, and he's like, could you speak to Nathan? See, do you have an SDR? I need an SDR, a sales guy to help with me sell my marketing offer. He already like does really well in his business, and he just needs a guy to come and help close all the leads that he's already got coming in. And it's like there's so many other businesses. Like the thing is, like, if you're a sales guy, you add revenue onto a business. So no matter what business it is, then you could literally add.
Exactly.
You pay for your salary straight away.
Yeah, and this is why you'd rather get paid for the value you provide as opposed to the hours that you work. See, I used to get paid for the hours that I work, and it's dead. I was earning $1.5 to $2 grand per month.
Yeah.
But I provide every offer that I work on. I provide serious value and serious revenue.
Yeah.
So I get paid based on that.
100%. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I think that's one of the greatest parts about sales is, and like, you know, everyone's capable of doing it, you know, given them they have the right mindset, but like seeing them go from, you know, coming in the door, not earning very much, maybe doing 2 or 3 grand, and then earning up to, you know, £7,000-8,000 a month, you know, 12,000, 14,000, you know, for the top guys. It's like seeing that from people and seeing how that
It's rewarding.
Change their life and change their confidence, change how they walk, change how they spend their time. Like, give them that freedom, basically.
Mate, some of my clients, I see myself in them. So I see myself a few years ago when I was struggling, trying to get to a specific point. I see myself in them. So it's very rewarding being able to help them and provide them the skills. Because the thing is, it's not a done-for-you service, right? You're coaching them. So they're learning skills, like vital skills, to a point where, as I said, if you learn sales, you'll never be broke again.
So what would you say is like the key things that you've learned that have drastically helped with your results over the past 3 years?
Okay, there's we talk about this all the time. There's the 3 A's. So when it comes to objections, we get a lot of people coming to us and they're asking us like, right, how do you get over this objection? I need to speak to my wife. I need to think about it. I've not got the money. How do I get over these objections? So there's a specific framework for overcoming an objection. Now, I personally believe you can avoid most objections, but we'll touch on that after. But when you do get an objection, it's the three A's: acknowledge, associate, and ask. So, for example, I understand that. I understand you feel that way. I actually had a client that felt the exact same before.
Or even I used to think like that.
Or even I used to think like that. And then ask, so like, what is it that's specifically holding you back? Like, what is it that's making you feel that way? And then what you do is you get out the true objection. Because a lot of time that first objection is not a true objection. It's usually a smokescreen. Then you get the real reason and they feel understood. And for me though, right, the biggest thing with objections is most salespeople have been working an offer for quite a while. See, when you work an offer for a while, you do this day in, day out for hours on end every single day, wherever you're working from, wherever in the world you are. You do this day in, day out, and you deal with very similar clients day in, day out. So if you're switched on, you know 9 out of 10 of the objections you're going to get before they come up.
Absolutely.
So that's when you start placing things in your pitch in advance before they come up, because prevention's better than cure, right? So if they ask a question, if they've got an objection and you respond to it, then it becomes almost like you're giving an excuse for it. Whereas before, you're preventing it coming up in the first place. That's the thing with me, working one offer for 3 years, smashing it. I just knew. I knew every single objection I was going to get before I got it. So I tailored the pitch to suit me. I tailored the pitch to ensure that I knew these objections, to ensure that I batted them out the park before they even came up. And it honestly was some of the most clean sales calls you'll ever see. Like, you'd listen to that and think, holy shit, he's just done like 20 sales calls with no objections. How's he done that? It's because I knew the objections that were going to come up and I made sure that they were knocked out the park.
I think with that as well, see with objections, it was really funny when we were in the office, yesterday I think?
Yeah.
And we were playing a call with one of the guys and just an objection came up at the end and the field sales office was just in the same thing. It was just like, isolate. And it's something that's not even spoken about much in sales, but it's like, you need to isolate the objection. So get the objection and it's like, isolate it into like one thing. So it's like, I'm not going ahead because of, I don't know, what was it again?
I need to speak to my wife.
You need to speak to your wife. So it's like, right, okay, so, let's say you speak to your wife and she wants to move, she's happy to move ahead. Is that the only thing that's stopping you from, is that you isolate it into that thing? Or you're saying, let's say just for talking, say your wife's happy with this. Are you ready to move ahead? And it's like, you want to isolate that down. And then if they say, no, well, there is this X, or it's just, the thing with the wife one as well though, is like, it's like, that's also just a false objection.
9 times out of 10 is a smoke screen.
Yeah. So it's like, same with, I need to think about it, I need this, I need that. It's just they're not certain on the actual thing yet. You've not done a good enough job with that. I think like it was the fee, the guy that was arguing before, so that was what we were trying to isolate. That's another part of handling objections.
Yeah, I think on top of objections, the biggest shift for me actually was that price is only a problem when value is weak. So
true.
I used to, obviously, as you know, it was a property I was in at the very start. And when it came to property, I was just getting so many low offers. So I was getting people that wanted to buy, but they were just giving seriously low offers and the seller would never accept them. I didn't understand what it was, because for me, it was a numbers game. It was like the more offers you get, the more invoices you send, the more deals that are done, as you would think. But I was getting stuck at the offer stage because it was just seriously low offers. Then I started to realise that there wasn't enough value in what they were buying. Now, this is one of the most important things, right, in sales. It actually falls into every job, every business. I've actually got a client, right, on the Closer protocol, and he's an influencer, so he's a content creator, and he's getting paid a hefty amount per video. But before, probably 3 months ago, he was making about maybe $1-2 grand per video, and it was because these guys didn't really know the value he provided to them, right? But see, when I got him to change his pitch for them, give them a full understanding of what he can provide to them and the value he can provide and the views and revenue he can make them off the back of it. He just got $5 grand, I think it was, or 5.5 grand. He just got paid for a video. The same type of video he'd originally have got $2 grand for. So every single walk of life, the more value that you provide, the more of an income you can get off the back of it. So price and value.
Yeah, I always think about that with like the price and value. It's like, oh, well, he doesn't even have £10,000 to afford it. And it's like, well, if it was a Ferrari that he knew was worth, £400,000 and there was that much value that was being created, you're like, this is a Ferrari worth 400,000. Even if you don't have £10,000 watching, I'm sure you'd find 10,000 from somewhere because the value is so extreme. you're willing to find the money to make the investment.
Exactly, and then you switch it. What's the cost of staying where you are? So you've got how much value is in what you're buying, but also what's the cost of staying where you are and not making a change, purchasing the product, purchasing the service, getting mentored by that coach. So there's the flip side on both. There's the push and the pull. You always call it the heaven and the hell. But for me, right, one of the most important things, and Hormozy says it, and I live by it, volume wins every time. So many people, you know, in the office, so many people are saying, right, how do I tweak this in the script, in the framework? Like, how do I change this? What do I do? And in reality, they don't have a script problem. They have an input problem. The more pitches you do, the more inputs you put in, the more you will get out. And it's a fact. The sales rep that does 100 dials a day is going to get a lot more out of it than the sales rep that does 2.
So
as
true.
long as they're actually getting people on the phone.
Yeah.
Maybe not dials then. Let's say that the sales rep that does more pitches in the day actually speaks to qualified buyers is going to get more than the person that only does 1 or 2.
Yeah.
That's been a very big thing for me as well.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Well, I think that's pretty much enough for this
one, yeah.
This series.
For sure.
But we'll come back in a bit, and hopefully, I mean, we want to do this more often now. So
Yeah, there's so much more value to give. We've got a lot of wisdom, a lot of value between us, so we can provide that to everyone for sure.
if this is something of interest, if you enjoyed watching this, be sure to click the like button below, smash the like button, subscribe.
Smash
Leave
it,
a
mate.
comment as well, and we
Yeah.
can send you over the free ebook that Nathan's put together.
Yeah. So everything that I've learned over the past 3 years, I've compiled into one online ebook, and I'm giving it away for completely free. So yeah, click the link below, and we can send it across for sure.